Yo, how's everyone doing? It's your boy Darren, and today we're going to be talking about King, my favorite Tekken character, and most likely my favorite Tekken 8 character. And just quick history, I've been playing for a couple of years now, so a lot of my skill and knowledge with King is up there, I would say. And I just wanted to give my insight. The game's been out for almost 2 weeks now, so there's definitely a lot more people playing. I just got more time to play with them, and just want to teach people how to use them, what's the best, and what I know so far. So I'm gonna put timestamps in this video for each section. We're gonna be talking about pokes, power crushes, grabs, and so on. So thank you for watching, and let's get to it. So we're gonna talk about his best pokes and strings. Starting at the 10 frame is 1-2, right? Oh, let me turn this off real quick. Okay, so we got 1-2, which is 10 frames. We got 1-2-1, which is also good. It's a third hit that will catch the opponent off guard. Then you also have 1-2-1-1, which is mid-mid, which will also get your opponent off guard if they try to step, if they try to move, if they try to press. It's always good with King to get in your opponent's face with pokes. Okay. Second poke, it is down forward 1. This is really good. It's one of King's best mids because it hits downwards, has a huge hitbox, and it has a follow-up with 2. So down forward 1-2. And look at the damage. 30 damage. 2 of those hits is 60. 60. So, and that's just regular hit. We're not even talking about counter hit, you know, or punish. So it's definitely one of your best tools. A lot of the times the goal with King is to dig with mids, you know, pokes, you know, 1-2-1-1-1, you know. So that's your second one, down forward 1-2. Then you have 2-1, which is also 10 frames, which I found out in this game. Because in previous Tekken, 2-1 was around minus 11 or 12, but now it's also an option. So 2-1 is your max damage 10 frame punish. A lot of the times if you're fighting an opponent and you don't know if it's punishable, hit them with 1-2, it's 10 frames, and next time hit them with, you know, 2-1, do a little more damage. If you want to see if you can get a little bit more, then you try, you know, back 2, right? This is 14. So this is back to 1. There's a follow-up. There's 2 follow-ups. You have a high, and as you see, a little chunky damage, 37. This is mainly used as a whiff punish and 14 frame punish, of course. And then the other follow-up to it is 4, which is a mid, and it will catch your opponent off guard if they try to press, if they try to duck, you see? So now you have the high, and you can delay it too. You go, both options can be delayable. So you have back to 1, back to 4. Okay. Then you also have down forward 2, which you can argue is also one of his best mids. Preferably, I think this is better, but we'll get to that. So down forward 2, as you all know, is really good because also downwards mid, and it has a follow-up that launches, but only if the opponent moves, attacks, or counter hit. So any of those, but on regular, they can just duck it. So like if I make the opponent stand block for the second hit, look at that. So it's not natural. So you want to be careful. You can always delay it, you know, if they think they can duck it, right, and they try to move, it becomes a launcher. So quick example, boom, boom, look at that, okay? And so that launcher I just used was back 1-2, which is your 12 frame. Meaty damage. A lot of King's punishes, I think, do a good chunk of damage, most of them. So it's always good to know what your punishes are, right? So you have the 1-2, you have the 2-1, back 1-2, right? Down forward 1, back 2-1, and a back 2-4. But that is not natural. Like I was saying earlier, that's a move that we use to get your opponent off guard. Okay, and then other mids, you have down forward 3. This is good for opponents who sidestep. So you can mix in everything I'm saying. So you have 1-2, down 4-3, 2-1, down 4-3, down 4-1, down 4-3. So the reason the utility of this move, as you see it, not only does it kind of hit them to the side, is because if they try to step you, right, if you're spamming this down 4-1 and they try to step, you can mix in down 4-3 and it will catch them because it tracks. Even though it doesn't have the tracking effect on it, it tracks the opponent if they try to step. Which also has a follow-up with holding down forward and then 4. But the main utility of this is this, to keep your opponent in your face, right? To be able to mix in grabs, to be able to mix in more pokes, more down forwards, okay? And then you also have back forward 1-4. This is more of a, you know, it's last minute, you want to get your opponent off guard. I wouldn't say this is up there with one of the best, but it's good to know that it's an option, right? It's gonna flip over lows, you know, dick jabs. So this is not too bad, okay? What else? Now for strings, you have 1-2-1 into the grab, just like that. So you can do 1-2 into grab, right? The 1+3, or you can do 1-2-1 grab, and it's a longer animation and does a little more damage, just like that. So it's also a good mix, right? Your opponent is blocking constantly. You can do 1-2-1 grab, 1-2-1-1 into the grab, you know, and it also has a crouch option, so you can do 1-2 crouch grab, right? But this is the full one. If you do 1-2-1 crouch grab, which is down and 1+3, or 3+4. My apologies. But yeah, you can do 1-2-1 crouch grab, just like that. It's a good option to mix it up, because if you're using this, right, all they got to do is duck, is telegraph. But now with the other option, you can grab them from ducking. Always good and useful to use. Other poke, down forward 4, which also has an extension with down forward 4-3, and then you have down forward 4-3-4, which is also a mid-ender, right? So down forward 4, the reason why it's good is because the range is about medium, as you see. So it's not too bad. You can move around, get that little kick in. It's not too negative on block, so it's a good tool to keep, you know, getting into your opponent, right? And also the follow-up, you can do down 4 for a low. So let me show you. Down 4, like that. So you do down forward 4-3, down 4, just like that, as you see on the left side. Okay, another mid is forward 3, which is really good because the damage and the Oki, you can get that low kick in there. And that input is just forward 3, the 1+2 as soon as the kick hits the opponent, just like that. The timing shouldn't be too bad. I believe it's a lot easier in Tekken 8 to do than the previous game. So as you see, just like that, and you know, it's a really good mid for sure, right? If they keep trying to duck your throws, or they keep trying to avoid your throws, this is a good option, right? It will stop them right there. They're on the ground. Now it's your turn, and it's your time to mix up more throws. Okay. Now, ooh, one more. So forward 2-1, down forward 1. So this is good, right? Because if the opponent gets hit by that second hit, you can launch them, right? Always remember though, you cannot launch on counter hit. It's a more of a catching your opponent off guard, right? If you keep doing this, right? Or if you do forward 2-1, which is a, you know, high at the second hit. So now you can change the second hit to be a mid, right? If they get hit with that, that's a full launch. Just like that. So that is always useful to know, right? Your main strings are gonna be something like that. We can try to catch the opponent off guard and get some decent damage off that, right? Same with these kicks, right? It's a good string with multiple options that you want to put onto the opponent. 1 2 1, 1 2 1 1, and then 1 2 1 grab, 1 2 1 1. You know? Those are the main things you want to do with King. Your job is to not only obviously grab the opponent as much as you can, but to also put yourself in situations where you can get more grabs, right? And also chunky mids, right? Keeping them in your face. You don't want them to get away from you because now they're out of grab range, right? King's job is to grapple you, right? His job to hit you hard, right? So those are what these mids will do, right? Keep you in check, keep you right in his face to get those opportunities. Okay. So I believe that's the main strings and pokes that I would use with King. So now I'm gonna talk about his lows. So you have down 3, which is a stomp, right? It's good, not too much damage, but it's quick and effective, you know. Staggers the opponent just a little bit. It's not too negative on block. Down forward 4, like I was saying earlier, part of that string. Whoops. Right. And then you have down 4. 14 frames. Pretty quick low. This is something I feel like most Kings, like me myself, use. It's pretty quick. Stops your opponent from pressing. You have down back 3. This is mainly used at a distance. As you can see, look at that. Pretty good range, right? And always to keep in mind that this low is very negative. So, whoops. As you see, so most characters can punish that. Not all, because it's only -14. But it's definitely not the safest. So it's mainly used as a long range low, just like this. Down forward 3 plus 4. This move is actually more negative. I believe it's -26. So let me show that real quick. Look at that, -25. So that is very unpunishable. So both of his long range lows unfortunately are negative, but they do have added on effects, which I'll show. So down back 3, as you see, will give you a grab opportunity, just like that. Or you can even just stomp the opponent, right? And do something like that, you know? So you have a few options. You can even just do the same move again, right? So that's one of the reasons why it's negative. But you should definitely be using, you know, down back 3, down 3, down 4. Did I miss one? Let's see. Ooh, okay. His drop kick. Down back 4. This low is good because of the range and because it can't really be punished. So we'll quickly show. Look at that. So King, even though it's -17, look how he lands. He lands on his face. There's no stun block of any kind. So now the opponent's punish won't be as large as 17 frames because of the situation King is at. So this is definitely still a good tool. And on counter hit, just like down back 3, look at that. Boom. 56 damage off a counter hit low like that. Right? So very useful. It's hard to punish, and on counter hit gives you that much damage. I would personally say you should use this drop kick as much as you can. Then his best low is, as you know, forward 2. So anything with a star just means you take a quick pause. So you're doing forward, forward, pause, then 2, forward, forward, 2, forward, forward, whoops, forward, forward, 2, forward, forward, 2, right? And then you can speed it up. Once you get the timing down, you can definitely speed it up. And the reason why this is his best low is, boom, 55 damage on counter hit is the first thing. Number 2, I'm pretty sure you can see how fast this move is. Look at this. So fast. And minus 13. That means most people cannot punish that at all. So you have a low essentially that you can just spam over and over where you really won't get that hurt for doing it. So you can just keep, you know, unless they really punish you with a low parry, which even then is not that much damage, right? So arguably this is King's best low, and you should do it as much as you can, mixing it in with your other options, right? From far away. So, and then his low from crouching, if you hold down forward 1, boom. So in this game, it's kind of a, I don't know if it's a nerf or a buff, but I'll just say I'm neutral because it screws instantly. So now, whoops. Now you just get a grab, 65 damage, easy off one hit. You don't even have to do a full combo. So in a way, I think it's kind of a cool change for King. But personally, this is a little bit more advanced. I never crouch and then do it. I do this. So you see my input up top, a little bit advanced, but just, you know, to give knowledge out. If you do the input like his crouch dash, right? Which, let's see, or a B step. So this input, when you do it, it leaves you in crouch. So this is a quick way to, if you do that input, look at that, from standing. Look how fast I'm doing this. So now I could just, you know, move around. Oh, boom, grab. You see that? Now that is useful, right? So I definitely think this change is nice because now I get a grab, boom, 65 damage, easy, you know, from a low that I've turned from just standing. So don't be afraid to mix in all these options. These are some of the best tools for King to use. So always mix it in. That's King's main approach, is to poke you down and get those grabs in, okay? We are going to talk about his new stances / power crushes. So his new stance, to manually go into it, was going to be forward 3+4. And while he's running, when that smoke appears, it's armor, meaning that the whatever attacks the opponent does, King will absorb it and you can attack. So he has a few options. He has 1, which is a mid that will flip the opponent over. He has 2, which is a high, which I believe is plus on block. Let's change the, yep, and does chip damage, right? So really good. You have 3, which is a tracking mid, as you see those blue swipes, meaning if they step to the side, this will hit. And it's only a -9, so technically safe, but in a way you kind of lose your turn, but still very good option. So for the most part, King's very safe in the stance with the armor and his options. Next he has 4, which is a low, as you see, -21, but like I was saying earlier with down back 4, he's left in a ground state, so it's not going to be that huge of a punish. Like I said, only certain characters can actually punish, even if it's still true, because I remember in Tekken 7 you still could, but definitely can fully test that if you want to double check. Then he has the one and only the RKO. So if you didn't already know, this grab is unbreakable. Yes, unbreakable. So if they get grabbed, That's it. 45 damage, and it activates heat, which is even better. Okay. So this stance is not too shabby, I must say. Okay. Also, when you activate the stance with forward 3+4, you can hold back and you can stop. Right. Mix in a poke. Right. Stop. Boom. Low. Grab. So many options from that. Another way, or his new power crushes, right? He has up forward 3+4, and he has down back 1+2, right? And you can mix the two together. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So you activate armor, run with armor. So, and just by doing, you just hit down back 1+2, and then you hit forward 3+4 to continue his run. So with this down back 1+2, you have a few frames, or as I say, a few attacks to where you can hit your opponent and it will activate heat. So let's put this on real quick, show you a quick example. So you see that, right? So remember, when you activate this, do not hit a button, right? Because if you hit a button, that's what happens. You get knocked out of it. So anytime you activate this, you have to let the animation play out and then attack. So in this case, he's doing 2-1, right? Which is around maybe 12 frames. And this attack comes out at 15. So understanding that is the reason of why when I hit, it doesn't land, because it's not fast enough. So Jin throws out, let's see if this is gonna work. Oops. There we go. You see that? That was a punish. Look at that. So in that instance, King had enough time to throw out the attack to then absorb the previous hits and then punish the opponent. So that's the way that you would use this down back 1+2, right? I learned it the hard way. I kept activating and pressing, right? Which is not a bad thing, right? Being able to cancel out of this, because you can also giant swing, right? If you wanted to, just like that. If you do it really fast. Okay, now let's go to his up 4-3-4. So same like the others. So it has power push, and he starts to run, and you activate the stance, which gives you the options, right? Whoops. It's the same follow-ups. So definitely really good. King's, how you say, his style is kind of absorbing hits now in this game, which is actually pretty cool, right? Knowing when to insert these armor moves to then reverse your opponent, right? Because a lot of characters have tons of pressure, way more than King. So this gives King more leverage to his opponents, right? And then you have back 3 1+2 is another power crush tool. This is mainly used as a wave punish, is what I usually use it for. But you can still use it in the same case, right? If you're getting punished, look at that. Boom. Just like that. Whoops. Just like that. Stopping the opponent from attacking, right? So King's armor moves are really good, right? Really good. Chunks of damage, so definitely use down back 1+2, up 4-3-4, running, and back 3 1+2. And just remember, this timing is not hard. You can spam out the button, and I'll show you. Look at that. Oops. Look at that. Get it every time. So just like that. Very easy, and it's effective. So that would be all of the information I could give as far as this power crush, how you should be using it and what you should be using. And yeah, let's go on to the next. So finally we are at the grabs, right? So his main grab is giant swing, right? Best throw, gotta be the best throw in the game, right? Comes out at 10 frames. Yes, 10 frames. Same as a jab. So that's what you should be using. And then for those who don't know the input, I'll just put it on the screen real quick. And I'll even explain a shortcut because learning it could be a little tricky. So the way I do it is I hit forward, right? Then I slide my thumb back, but make sure you don't hit all the buttons. You kind of want to do forward, back, like that. And you're gonna slide it all the way to the front. So again, you're gonna do forward, back, slide to the front, and hit square. So do it again. Look at that. See, you don't even have to do it too fast. If you're starting out, you can just do forward like that, just like that. Then you get quicker, you can start, you know, whoops, you start throwing it out, you know, start mixing it with strings and pokes. He also has a Tijuana twister, which is the same input but just with the 2 notation. He has, whoops, tombstone. And so this input actually changed. In Tekken 7, it was down, back, forward, 2+4. But now you have to hit the forward and 2+4 at the same time. So I'm gonna quickly show you in the move list. Let's find it. Let's see. There it is. See, you see that pause earlier when I was talking about forward, forward, 2? So now I was down, back, and then the forward and the 2+4 at the same exact time, or it won't come out. Like, you can't do, see? You try to do it the old way, it does not come out. So it has to be at the exact same time. Okay? Next, you have his amazing, and this input is down, down, back, back. I just call it, you know, this or quarter circle back. You just start with down and slide your thumb. You see that? And I'll just add the 1+2. Look at that. So down, down, back, back. And like I said, you just start from the down, just like that. All right. Whoops. Just like that. Real easy. You slide your thumb and the input should come out. Okay. Next, you have his Shining Wizard, right? This is something you really need to learn because it's fast, the damage is good, and it leaves your opponent on the ground, right? And so this input is forward, 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 2+4. Okay. Let's bring it on the screen if we can find it. There it is. Just like that. And luckily in this game, it's a little bit easier. So if you really wanted to, you could just do forward, forward 3 times. You see that? And he starts running. Whoops. Just like that. Like that. If you don't know how to quickly do it, then yeah, you can hit forward 3 times and hit the 3. Just like that. I always do the instant, which is just forward, forward, then forward and 2+4 at the same time. So it comes out super fast like that, right? So you don't even see me running because it comes out quick. So that's a move that you should be using as much as possible, right? As far as the grabs, giant swing, you know, tombstone, tomahawk, you should all be mixing these in as much as possible, okay? Then you also have his cradle, right? Which we will show real quick. It is forward, neutral, down, then down, forward, 1+4. And for me, it's a little neat trick. I have my right stick as 1+4. So I can quickly, just like that. Just like that. See? I'll show you. just like that. So it's a little trick I put for king just to make it easier, since I'm always gonna be trying to go for the rolling death cradle, right? And there it is. Oh, there you go. And it should do about 100 damage. So let's see. And yeah, 100 damage. So this throw is the big one you want to go for. But always remember there are other options, right? So a lot of the times, if you see your opponent break it, you can just do R1, R1. You can do an arm breaker and so on, right? So don't be afraid to look through King's other options, right? But I just want to tell you the most damaging and the best. Then you have his leg breaker, which is the same input, but just with 2 and 3. Just 2 and 3. Okay. Oops. My hands hurt. There we go. Just like that, right? Leg breaker. And I think, oh, it's another grab. Oh, okay. So his spin, which is 3 plus 4. If you do 3 plus 4 and then 1 together, you get that, right? Which has follow-ups. See? Just like that. You know? So that throw is also something you should look at and fully try to memorize it as best you can, because it's very useful and the opponent's gonna have to guess either 1 or 2 break, right? And it does tons of damage, tons. But definitely mixing in this, right? Which I forgot to mention, right? It has a couple options, right? You do 3 plus 4, 1, and now it's a launcher. Just like that, okay? And then 2, which leaves him crouch, giving you the crouch grabs. And here's his heat engager crouch grab, which is 1 plus 4. Boom! Right? So definitely useful. Catch your opponent off guard, because they might. It's always good to mix this in, right? Also has the mid, and then it has, whoops, has the high with 4. So many options you could be using, but everything I've mentioned before, those are the best options you should be using. You can go ahead and check the rest of his moves to get more utility, but the moves I say in this video, to me, are the best tools you should be using. Next, I wanted to talk about mix-ups, okay? So all the pokes I mentioned previously can go into his grab. So 1, 2, whoops, look at that, 1, 2, giant swing, 1, 2, T1 twister, right? 1, 2, boom. 2, 1, same situation. Down forward 1, same situation. 2, 1, same situation. So that is really important information that you guys should know, right? That mainly all of King's pokes can smoothly transition into his grabs, which in Tekken terms, I think we call it buffering, right? So pretty much when you input the string or pokes, you input the grab in the middle of that animation. So let me slow it down. So when I do 1, 2, right? After this second hit, I'm gonna start the giant swing. So you see up there? Right after the 2, I input the giant swing. You can do it slower, but the faster the better. It will come out a lot faster. Yeah, so even his lows, right? You can do down back 3 into giant swing. Down 3, giant swing. Down 4, giant swing. So note that is very important. It's surprising some people don't know that. So there you go. Make sure that when you're doing his pokes that you mix in his grabs as well, because they smoothly transition. Okay. And lastly, I will show some combos. Not the most optimal, but just basic options, right? So you have from his launchers, you have his hop kick, Just like that, right? So in that combo, if you notice, when I did this, I'm holding back, right? And when you do that, now you have the chance to run up and grab. His other launchers are while crouch, or while rising, I should say. When you let go of crouch and you hit 1+2, you have this. You can do the same combo. Boom. Just like that. Then while crouching, he has his gut punch, which is holding down forward 2. Just like that. Pretty good damage. Not optimal, but just gonna give you guys basic combos. You also have, like I was mentioning earlier, that crouch. Whoops. There we go. That crouch low from earlier is definitely one of his launchers. And I think that's, ooh, okay. So his back one, his king doesn't have many launchers, right? Because he's a grappler, so back one. You have to commit or it won't, you see that? If you just do back one, that's just what's gonna happen. So you have to do back 1, 2, right? To launch the opponent. So those are your main launchers. Hop kick, while rising 1+2, back 1, 2 on counter hit, while crouching gut punch, like that. Is low, while crouching down forward 1, right? You also have Atlas Hammer, which is going to be harder to land on people, but you know, it's an option. And I think that's about it. King doesn't have many launchers, right? Like I showed this already. All right, something you can do. You know. Whoops. Like that. There you go. A little more damage. And then, ooh, okay, I forgot to mention his sidestep. So you can do, if you sidestep and then hit 1+3, he will slide, and you have to hold back, right? If you don't hold back, he will grab. So you hold back and he will stay crouch. So if you slide, now you can do that. So you know, something like that. Okay. So I'm gonna switch stages and I want to show you guys a couple combos. Okay. Okay, so at the wall, you're gonna do down forward, 4, 3, 4, and you're gonna hold back. It's gonna leave him back turn, which gives you the option to backflip. All right, gives you the option for 3. Whoops, if you land it correctly, there you go. Just like forward 3, it'll give you a follow-up. So back to the wall. Woo. And look at that. That backflip is unblockable, so that's guaranteed. Whatever way you want to do it, right? And you can quickly turn around. Something like that. Look at that damage up top. So that is something you can try. You know. Look at that. 100+ damage from off one combo. So King does have a strong wall under, okay? For sure. Meaty damage. And I think that's about it. We talked all about his pokes that can go into throws. you know, the options out of it. Pretty much anytime you knock an opponent down, you're going to be doing down 4, some type of down forward 1, or some type of grab. That's the main gist of it. Yeah, that's it. I think we literally talked about all the important tools of King. But yeah, I believe that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you would like some more, definitely let me know down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, and on to the next one. Thank you for watching.